Kong represents so many things. He is the mystery of the unknown, and he's a terrifying force of nature who is also a sentient being with an intelligence we don't understand. And I think we're captivated by that.
Just another imagining of King Kong and what that is and what his journey's been from where he came from and what he had to overcome, or the things that he was battling in his birthplace to stay alive and to keep the people alive around, and what his place is as a guardian of humanity, I guess.
I think there's something really beautiful about the fact that Kong is king. I mean, he's the biggest thing on this island, and yet he doesn't choose to use that power in a way that's harmful. He defends when he needs to, but for the most part, he's actually a quite peaceful character.
It's touching to see something you consider to be wild be kind or gentle or have an emotion that you can identify with. So there's something fascinating about believing you understand something and then being proven wrong.
The journey of Kong in Skull Island is that he goes from being a figure of terror, an alpha predator who seems to be a destructive threat, but he becomes a emblem of the natural order.
It's a high adventure story in a jungle in an unknown place with, you know, not just Kong, but other things that might kill you.
It's all of these different things. You know, it is a genre mashup of 70s films and very contemporary films, and hopefully we can sort of fuse the throwback elements and the very modern elements into something that becomes kind of timeless.
There's something wonderful about the early 70s and the innocence that everybody had at that point. You know, there's a lot of hard lessons that the world and humanity itself learned along the way since the 1970s, but it was a little bit more of an innocent time, and I think it was a perfect way to approach the story.
How do we tell a new story within that mythology? How do we take elements of that character? How do we take the things people loved about Kong? How do we take the things people loved about Skull Island and improve on them and change them and reinvent them, not for reinvention's sake, but for a reason that solidifies why this movie should exist, why people can say, I'd go see that movie. And that's where the 70s comes in. That's where Lancet comes in. That's where Vietnam comes in. That's where all of these things come in, and we just fundamentally are trying to treat our Kong in a way that honors what came before it, but paves a new path.
Kong is such a huge part of the mythology of cinema, and it tells this incredible story that is really timely, dealing with the issues that we're still dealing with today when it comes to man versus nature. So if we want to talk about agriculture or war, these huge things that we are still grappling with as human beings and trying to find a way, instead of fighting with something, to actually work with it. And I think this is such a great way of telling that story in a way that's still fun and entertaining and interesting to watch.